John Kasich continues to make the pitch to New York voters that he is the only Republican candidate that can beat the Democrats in a general election.
We are absolutely going to a convention, which I said a month ago, and they laughed. And we are going to a convention, and then at the convention they're going to decide who can actually win in the fall and who can beat Hillary. And I'm the only one that consistently does it.
Kasich beats Hillary Clinton by almost 7 points, according to the Real Clear Politics average.
And joining us right now for more on this is Newsmax political analyst Dick Morris, author of the best-selling book Power Grab, Obama's Dangerous Plan for a One-Party Nation. Dick, great to have you back with us.
Good to be here, John.
All right, on CBS's Face the Nation yesterday, John Kasich admitted that he is in the delegate accumulation business, which is not the same thing as trying to win. Kasich is telling us that voters are eventually going to wake up and realize that he is the only one who can beat Hillary Clinton. Now, according to polling, this is true. If he is in fact auditioning to be the vice president, does that translate for the eventual nominee? If someone can beat Hillary Clinton, does that help out the person who is above him on the ticket?
No, not really. But it sure helps the person who becomes vice president, if in fact he does, because about half the vice presidents go on to be president. I think that what John Kasich is doing is disingenuous. He knows to get elected, he can't get nominated. He knows that he's lost every single primary. And if he's so effective as a vote getter, how come that's the case? And I think that he understands that this convention is going to be populated by Cruz people and Trump people. And there'll be about 42% of the convention will belong to each camp. And he'll have maybe 10%, and that's not enough to do anything. And what I do think he's doing is amassing delegates so that he can sell them to Donald Trump to become his vice president and run on his ticket. Trump needs a first ballot victory because Cruz has seeded the delegations with pro-Cruz people who vote for Trump on the first ballot because they're legally bound to, but will switch to Cruz on the second. So Trump understands if he doesn't get a first ballot knockout, he's gone. And the only way right now that Donald Trump can get a first ballot majority, the only way, is to put Kasich on his ticket.
Why would Kasich do that, though, Dick? Out of everybody so far in the race, he's been pretty unequivocal about the fact that he does not want to be a vice president.
Yeah. Nobody ever says they want to be vice president, but they all accept. And unless they don't think the guy can win. Half of the vice presidents have gone on to be president. And almost every one of them, except when they deliberately are choosing someone too old like Cheney, becomes the candidate for president in the next election. And I think Kasich realizes that it's the natural stepping stone. Also, there are term limits in Ohio, and he'd have to leave office in 2 years and wouldn't have anything else to do.
All right, so maybe Kasich buys into the Ben Carson theory that if Donald Trump becomes president, it only has to be for 4 years, if it's really that bad. Dick, I want to move on and talk about President Obama. Of course, he did this interview with Fox News Sunday and Chris Wallace, and he was talking about whether or not any preferential treatment has been or will be given to Hillary Clinton in this investigation. Let's take a listen.
I guarantee it. I guarantee that there is no political influence in any investigation conducted by the Justice Department or the FBI, not just in this case, but in any case.
And she will be
full stop, period.
No
Guaranteed, full stop. Nobody gets treated differently when it comes to the Justice Department because nobody is above the law.
Even if she ends up as the Democratic nominee.
How many times do I have to say it, Chris? Guaranteed.
Well, there you go, Dick. A guarantee from President Obama. Nobody gets treated any differently. Is that really the case?
Wouldn't take that to the bank if I were you. He's probably right in that the PRI will not call the Attorney General and say this is what I want. But he puts people up and down the administration who share his philosophy and share his political priorities. And they know that you do not indict a Democratic Party nominee in the weeks and months before a presidential election. They know that. And they don't have to be reminded by a call from the White House. So I think what's going to happen here is the FBI will complete its interview, determine that Hillary is guilty, recommend an indictment, that justice will refuse to bring the indictment, that the FBI people will quit in protest, and it'll be a big issue in the campaign. But Hillary will have escaped, actually, by my count, her third probable indictment.
Well, Dick, I want to talk about the president again. For the first time since 2013, half of Americans approve of the job President Obama is doing in office. That's according to an AP GFK poll. 50% approve and 50% disapprove. That's 6 points up from February. Now, maybe it's the approval numbers, maybe it's something else, but President Obama seems to be growing even more confident in the role of attacking the GOP candidates. Late last week, the president stuck around at a news conference to talk about the candidates, and he called their proposals wacky.
I do have to emphasize that it's not just Mr. Trump's proposals. I mean, you're also hearing concerns about Mr. Cruz's proposals, which in some ways are just as draconian when it comes to immigration, for example.
So here you have the president coming kind of to the defense of Hillary Clinton, doing his first interview on Fox since being elected as president over the weekend, now criticizing the Republican candidates pretty harshly publicly. How effective can Obama be as this attack dog this fall?
I think he'll have some impact. I think he certainly would do a good job in rallying his base that, after all, did not really support Hillary in the election. Young people, the key elements in his base, all voted for Sanders. But look, the idea that it's a wacky position to say that you shouldn't issue an illegal executive order that you yourself said would be illegal before you issued it, granting amnesty to all legal immigrants, that's a wacky position. I don't get it. Also, the only reason Obama's ratings are up is that nobody's paying any attention to him. All the effort is focused now on the nominating process, and with any lame duck or retired president, the ratings go up.
The lame duck session is what everybody's looking forward to. You have talks about the Supreme Court nominee perhaps happening then, ahead for Republican candidates. But Dick, who do you think would be more effective with about 30 seconds left? We've seen some ups and downs with Bill on the campaign trail, but who is more important for Hillary's election, Bill or President Obama?
Bill. Because President Obama is the past. A lot of voters feel that they're electing too. And in fields like economics, where Hillary has no background and no resume, Bill has a pretty good one.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks very much. Dick Morris, great to see you again. Dick Morris is the author of Power Grab, Obama's Dangerous Plan for a One-Party Nation. Always great to have Dick with us on the program. Now, coming up, the release of the Pentagon Papers has politicians like UK Prime Minister David Cameron coming under fire, nicknamed Dodgy Dave, all over the place. Stephen Moore, economist and international business expert Raoul Moss will join us to talk about the ripple effect from the Panama Papers. Could have hit the U.S. presidential trail. We're coming back after this.